Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck. What's the big angle? Sorry. So I am here in my office / library. I'm going to do some rearranging. So haven't done really a library tour yet because that just takes time. And I just forget. Anyway, so what I'm going to do right now is kind of give you a brief look at what it looks like right now. And then I've already started to organize a little bit. I have a stack of books there that I'm gonna get rid of, and then I have some up on the top of my that I'm gonna get rid of. Again, some of them are books that I read and I just don't want to read again, or they're books that I DNF'd. Mostly are DNFs up there. Down here is mostly books I've read and I'm just never gonna read them again. So I was trying to get rid of more, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna get rid of that many. So I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like, and then maybe I'll show you in the middle of the chaos, because what I'm going to do is rearrange in my office here, and then there's a bookshelf out in my living room. I have 2 bookshelves out there that I'm going to rearrange. Books that I have out there now, I'm going to change out with some other books, because clearly they're not calling to me, because I stare at them all the time and don't pick them up. So I'm going to go through those too. So anyway, we'll see how this goes. So we're just going to do a quick review of what the office looks right now. I have kind of multiple, mostly science fiction, a little horror and fantasy over on this shelf. And then some paranormal romances, some more urban fantasy, some horror, some adventure, some Star Wars, and some Dean Koontz and Stephen King. And then I have Christopher Moore, and then some horror and some miscellaneous stuff that I'm going to go through and move around, because some of that's David Mitchell. I'm not sure what he's doing down there. Whoops, that's the cat knocking over my tripod. Anyway, so then I have more fantasies, urban fantasies, epic fantasies, kind of mixed in a few sci-fi, which I'll pull out. And then down, and there's some horror down here with Stephen King. And then I have a whole bunch of kind of miscellaneous fantasy and sci-fi. Oh. Okay. Here's some of my favorite adventure / alternate history stuff. And some more fantasy. It's just a lot of fantasy. Then my Tad Williams and Ken Schultz, and then some of my bigger ones with my Funko Pops, which are kind of some of them out, some not. Mostly from Lord of the Rings, and then some from Twin Peaks. Anyway, actually, my Cooper was up there. Sorry, there. And then this is a miscellaneous kind of lit fic, or like other stuff, because I just needed that shelf size. So these will be probably moving. And then more fantasy and sci-fi with Dune over there. Some of my old stuff, and then really far at the bottom is all my, a lot of my Bill Kreider hardbacks, and then miscellaneous romance or stuff. And then our cats. Anyway. And then we got some space I've made up over here by getting rid of one author. Not his fault really, but anyway. So we have some fantasy over there, mostly, and then we got China Melville and some urban fantasies and stuff, and then all my Nalingi Sings, well, all the mass markets that I have, and then some more fantasy, mostly fantasy, and then at the bottom, then there's my Maya Banks. I have a lot of hers. She might be moving upstairs. I'm not sure. And there's some mysteries and stuff down there that I haven't read. And some lit fic. And then here's some of my paranormal romances and historical fictions. So there's these are a lot of different series that I like. A few of those, and then some miscellaneous. Looks like some urban fantasy and some historical fiction, or what do you call it? Historical fiction, either romance or in mysteries. And then some steampunk and some historical fictions, romances. And then some of my really older, like Victoria Holt books. and then some more down there, and then on my Susanna Kearsley as well. So then on this side is more, on the other side of the room, is more my, what do you call it, classics. So they're kind of here. There again, they're kind of jumbled up right now. But some of them are in by their series, like what they look like. So, and then kind of across the way we do a little bit more history. Or not history. Sorry, classics. Again, I said I have quite a few of that. And then I have a little bit here as well. And then I start getting to kind of my reference books. These are all my writing books and stuff down here. That was more travel. It's more writing. So I have quite a few of those. And then this shelf has some books and then some of my Norton anthologies from college. And then all my translated works. Well, most of them, not all of them, but a lot of them. And then I have a kind of like catch-all for all my photo albums and other big items that really you guys will never see. Anyway, so as I said, I had classics up here. And then I have this empty spot, spoiler alert, for book haul right there. That's where I keep my books right now for my book hauls. I'm going to change that out. I think I'm going to clear this whole shelf, not make it a junk shelf, and move stuff around. So, oh yeah, sorry, that's really cute. It's my mommy. It's her cute picture my grandmother gave me that was in her house. Anyway, then I have some fairy tales, and then I have some big books. Most of these are, some of them are classics, some are just modern classics, and there's some mysteries in there too. Then here's some, like a mixed match of mysteries and historical fiction and stuff. And then we go down to my Elizabeth Peters shelf, which I'm probably going to double stack because there's, you know, as much as I love her, she does not need a whole, like the whole front of the shelf. Then I have more of my Bill Kreider's there in the middle that are all the paperbacks I have of his. And then I have some other mysteries all around it with Watership Down. I'm not sure why that's there. And then the very bottom shelf on this shelf here is more just a mismatch of literary fiction as well as classics and other things that I've just kind of thrown on. So anyway, that is kind of a quick tour of what it looks like right now, including the pile of books that need to find a home. The first two stacks here are the two that those are all the stuff I pulled off for my oldest books on TBR challenge to finish those books out this year, hopefully this next year. And then the rest are all the books that I bought in the last 2 months that have no home. So we are going to find them homes. Anyway, so that's what it looks like in here to start with. And then in the living room, I have a few mass markets that I want to get to as a mismatch of mystery, or well, romances and fantasy and stuff like that that I want to get to. And then here are my, they're supposed to be the top, oh sorry, this is like cluttery, which I need to clean off. Sorry about that. But there's a lot of fantasy and sci-fi over here, as I said. And then I have mostly literature, historical fiction, and, you know, general fiction stuff that's over here. So those are it. And of course I have little black classics in the back. And this is where I stack the books that I'm thinking about reading for the month where my TBR goes. Kind of hard to see that. But anyway, and then really quick, here's where all my, a lot of my classics are, or my collections of stuff. I'll be adding to that, as well as all my Murakami. And then if we walk just a little bit farther over, we'll see the chaos of my nonfiction shelves, because I'm overloaded. So I need to rearrange all of those. Because the first 4 shelves are all nonfiction, and then below I have a couple mass market paperbacks, and then my cookbooks. Because we are right next to the kitchen. Anyway, not that I use them. Anyway, so that's kind of it. That's Truman. Anyway, so that's my quick tour of what my office looks like now. I think I'm going to release this video first. And then I'll show you in the middle of the chaos, because it's going to be chaotic. And then I'll show you the final product for now. We'll see how this goes. Okay? Talk to you guys later.